Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to share with you a clip from the recent town hall. There's, in my opinion, out of the 2 hours of live conversation, which I'm so pleased that they continue to do every single week, it gives us a ton of information, and it's chock full of forecasting and implications about what big changes are coming. And sometimes they say more than they mean to, which is so exciting for somebody who's really paying attention. So I really think the whole thing is worth your time and attention. But if I was to distill this week's town hall down to its core, to its essence, I think it's going to be this one sentence from Aggy answering one question from the FAQ section portion of the town hall. And he specifically gets into, the question is specifically around, do you guys need to stop telling us, leaking, predicting, getting us excited about what's coming? Because it seems like there's constantly setbacks, and that is... maybe that's harming the audience, the crowd, the excitement around the game. And listen to what Aggy says. I think this is exactly true, and I think this is exactly the core of where our hearts and minds should be at with Splinterlands.
Should you stop teasing new features until they are almost ready? Almost everything has been delayed multiple times, and it makes people lose confidence in what the team is building. No, I really think that it's important to sort of talk through what our pipeline is. And honestly, I think we're moving at a faster clip than people understand. And you guys are going to start experiencing that pretty soon. I mean, the rank rewards are going to drop, then mild and modern is going to drop. And then we're going to decouple all these things by introducing the tech modernization, which really frees up developers to drop new things on top, which then leads into lands. I mean, I think the end of this year is going to be jam-packed. Oh, and don't forget validator nodes. You guys are going to be swimming in changes. Nobody's going to be asking me, are you sure that we ought to talk about it? You guys are going to be asking, like, what the hell just did you release? This changed everything. Wait, you just did another one? Do we really have to go this fast? And I don't know. My guess is that we're going to go from one team sort of putting stuff out to, like, you guys are going to be drinking from the fire hose. So... I don't know. We'll see.
The other thing, too, is publicly stating what you're doing is a way to hold not only the team members accountable, but to set, like, firm deadlines, right? The more that a company internally just talks to itself about setting dates and whatnot, the can will continue to get kicked and get kicked and get kicked and get kicked. The moment that we put something out into the world, it's alive. It's a thing, right? So every time that something gets delayed, it's not like it just hits us and we go, oh, we're just going to delay this. Don't worry. Like, it gets hard to do that sort of a thing. So, like, putting things out there is like when you tell yourself, like, hey,
he's going to go on to say it's like telling yourself to go to the gym, and you tell yourself you're going to go, but that's one thing. And then when you start telling your wife and your parents and your friends, there's this accountability. And I think that's true. But I want to focus on what Aggy said. He said, look, you know, you guys are, I think he's pointing to our fickleness. First of all, it's like, right now we feel like nothing's happening. Right now we feel like prices are declining in our cards. The crypto assets are declining. The game feels stagnant in the sense that land's not out, rewards changes are not out yet, tournament changes are not out yet. It feels like everything is coming and nothing has arrived, and that's so far from the truth if we step back and recognize how far we've come. I mean, there was so much bugginess, and there was so much we couldn't even scale up at first, remember, to deal with the hundreds of thousands of accounts that are daily active now. We've done that, but it's behind us. It's so much of what have you done for me lately? And he's like, look, you know, we've got land coming, we've got reward changes coming, we've got modern versus wild, we've got earlier in this town hall, WeirdBeard got into and how there's going to be big tournament changes where we're going to have he didn't say very much, but it was like the ability to interface with the tournaments in a different way. I suspect we're going to be able to run tournaments in a new and more professional way, which allows us probably to stream, you know, the victories without spoiling who won by seeing the win-loss before you even click on the battle. Little things like that. It's going to be, these are big things that are all coming at one time. Land, I don't think I mentioned that one yet. It's like, these are gigantic things. He talked about tech modernization in this town hall. They explained that to mean kind of the back end stuff that's really making it possible for land to even come out, because land is one thing, but then understanding the software supporting the technology supporting the land release. How are these assets going to be traded? Are they traded on Splinterlands? Are they traded in third-party sites? How is that possible? Dealing with everything from like plots to tracks to what's the bigger one, regions and so on. All of this needs to be coded. How do we open these things? How are they handled? What does that look like? It all needs to be coded and bug tested and so on. And that's all happening now, well in advance of it actually being released, so that when it is ready to go and released, it's seamless. And so he said it's going to be like, right now it might feel like there's not much going on, but there's going to be a fire hose that's coming for us. And they've said throughout this town hall that the big updates are coming kind of between now and the end of this year. And I think the end of this year was really all of it. By the end of this year, they were saying like all of these major things that we've been expecting for what seems like forever: modern versus wild, land, the new reward changes and reward shares, validator nodes. I haven't talked about that one, but he mentioned it quickly. Tournament updates. That's 6 different major, gigantic, game-changing features and actually economic changes too within the game, and all of that has huge implications for not just what you're earning for your time and attention, but the mechanisms through which there's forced price appreciation on the assets we're holding. The cards will appreciate as we attract new players. We'll attract new players when we get new features. When there's greater functionality in the tournament windows, when there's greater opportunities to earn. I didn't talk about SPS rewards coming to Brawls, but that was mentioned by Cryptomancer. That's by the end of this year. That's another thing. That's 7 different things. And so it really is going to be like a fire hose. And I think we feel as though nothing is happening because all this stuff is happening on the back end. And we can't touch it yet. But once it starts to roll out, it's going to be week after week after week of just things you don't even have your mind wrapped around. How does this new reward change work? And how am I going to min-max my sort of opportunity in that? Because that's a gigantic change, the way they're changing the ghost cards, and they're going to give you more access to more loot chests depending on how much you play. And I think that's going to have big economic implications for the value of holding cards, because ghost cards is going to the elimination of ghost cards from my revenue generating asset is going to necessitate us buying those cards, which is going to drive up the prices of those cards, which is going to stir interest in the game because the assets are going to be appreciating wildly. And then on top of that, validator nodes and everything that's going to do with the burning mechanic around SPS and around vouchers, not to mention all these things. Like I just said, there's about 6 or 7 things that are gigantic updates coming to this game within the next 6 months. And this is such an exciting time to be in Splinterlands, and it's such an important time to be paying attention to town halls like this. I strongly encourage you to watch every one of these for your own on your own and for your own knowledge. But really, this one was jam-packed full of lots of little updates about what is coming, and it continues to feel, sometimes it feels as though they're always coming. It's always coming. There's more. It's just around the corner. And I get that. But we're getting to a point where they're saying very clearly some of this is happening this month, like the reward changes, the ghost card burning, the ghost card alterations, and what that'll do for card price appreciation. That's happening this month. And wild versus modern is, I think, this month or next month. The SPS airdrop is ending in the next like 60 or 90 days. As a result, that'll be less SPS being printed. That should have a positive impact on SPS prices. There's so many interesting and exciting things that are just right around the corner. You guys got to pay attention to these town halls. This, in my opinion, this was the core message of today. Huge changes, gigantic game-changing economic kind of driving forces are coming to Splinterlands. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss it. You might not be prepared. So pay attention. Guys, thank you so much for your time and attention to my channel, to this video. If you stuck around to the end, make sure you like and subscribe. As always, have an amazing day. God bless.